What's up, guys? Closeup here from Henry's House of Coffee. Today we're going to talk about coffee extraction and, more importantly, coffee grind size. Coffee grind size is a question we get asked a lot from our customers, and what they want to know is, what's the correct size for their French press, or what's the difference between a drip versus a cone filter. So let's take a look and find out what all that is. Let's go. Alright, before we jump in and start looking at coffee grinds, let's take a look at the equipment that people are using to make coffee. So starting on the left and coarsest grind is the French press, followed by the drip or the drip filter. You can see it's got a flat bottom there. And then moving on, we have the cone or the cone-shaped filter. The next item is actually the piece that we use to make espresso shots. That's referred to as a portafilter. And then finally, we have the Armenian coffee pot, which actually doesn't require any sort of filter. So that's from coarsest to finest. All right, let's start talking about extraction, because that's really important. It's the key for these grind size. What we want to look at is, first of all, how is coffee extraction defined, particularly in the Specialty Coffee Association? So by definition, it's the percentage by weight of the grounds that are dissolved in the water. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example here. Let's say you're starting off with about 18 grams of coffee, and when you finally brew it through your Chemex, you're left with 3.6 grams of the dissolved coffee. That's about a 20% extraction yield. And why that's important is because the optimal range is between 18 to 22%. Anything less than that, it's going to stay sour and grassy. Anything more than that, it's going to take very bitter and just not really clean. The three factors that are affecting this extraction yield are water temp, brew time, and of course, grind size. And that's what we're going to look at next. We're going to assume that we have some really big, coarse coffee grounds. But since I don't have that, we're going to use sesame candies. And yup, I broke them in half, one by one. And I may have eaten a couple while I was getting ready for this video. But the point I wanted to make was, when you're pouring water over these sesame candies, there's no extraction. The extraction yield is actually very, very low. You can see the water just flowing right through here. In this next angle, you'll see it just straight brewing directly through the grinds. Now, conversely, if we were to look at something very, very fine, like powdered chocolate, for example, there's going to be an extremely high extraction yield. In this angle, the water's not going anywhere. In fact, it's probably turning into mud. It's barely dripping through. And that's the main reason why we have these extraction yields, because the perfect range will also give you the perfect cup. Let's take a look at some of these. If you've ever come into the shop and wanted your beans to be ground, you notice the employees are using a knob on the right side of the machine to grind the coffee. And what they're doing is following a scale that we've developed that's based on the perfect grind size for the type of machine. So on the left, we have the extra fine grind, or the Armenian grind, at a number 1. All the way on the right, we have the coarsest at a number 8 for a French press. And then bunched in the middle, we have the espresso and Chemex at a 3.5. And for the flat bottom or drip, we have a 5. And what I want to look at next is a close-up of what those coffee grinds look like to get a better sense of the size. We're looking at a close-up here of the extra fine grind. It almost looks like powdered sugar. And then a little bit coarser, we have the quote-unquote drip grind. This is the flat bottom filter that we were looking at earlier in the video. And then on the coarsest side, we have the French press. So we've gotten from finest to coarsest. And that's it, folks. This is the idea of coffee grinds and extraction. That's how we do it at HOC. I hope this was a helpful video. Thanks for watching.